The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a show for 80s babies who were 90s kids. If you were a No Limit soldier, then this is your show. If you believe that Cash Money is not an army but was a Navy, this is the show for you. If you and your friends ever tried to sing a song written by Escape, In Vogue, Shy, or Voiced Men at a talent show during middle school, this is your show. The I Only Listen to 90s Music podcast is a bunch of 80s babies talking about all the songs and things that we loved when we were kids and teenagers. So if you went to the skating rink and you were at a lock-in, this is the show for you. If you think that Tevin Campbell was the original Prince of R&B, this is the show for you. If you don't understand the conflict between Monica and Brandy, but you're kind of on Monica's side and understand why Brandy got punched, this is the show for you. Make sure that you tune in, subscribe, click the little subscribe link. We're here. We're going to talk about all things 90s music. This is the show for you.
Good to see you. We have somebody. I'm just going to get it out the way. I'm not even going to.
We have a co-host today.
Yes, we have Pepper. So you've heard him in the background. Oh, got to the mic. Okay. Sit down. No, but you heard him behind the door a little bit in our last episode. But he made an appearance today. I didn't even want to make him suffer behind there. But yes. Hello, friends. How are y'all? I hope y'all been good, been chilling. One thing we didn't do, because this is the retake, we didn't talk about how we are right now. And yes, yeah. Because it's been a little second. We want to make sure that we're connecting, because even though we're in the same city, we talk almost daily. Mm-hmm. I think it's important for the people who are looking in to this podcast to know that we're checking on each other at all times. I agree. So I think that's so important. So coming into Womanology, we're talking about life as women, how it pertains to our careers, us as mothers, us in this dating world, health. Feminine, yes.
Femininity,
yes. You got it. You said it. Come on now. We talk everything woman, all of our daily experiences, but just to start off, yes, that's going to be a big one. And that's why we're in this very nice, safe space, cozy space, so we can be more vulnerable with our conversations. But yeah, friend, how are you? How are you doing?
So my emoji, I have to be honest, friend. So at first, I was in the sad emoji, I had a sad emoji, so I was going for that. But now, I wish they had an emoji to where you're not sad anymore, but you're feeling better. One where you're melancholy almost.
Okay.
You're not down. You're just not as up as you've been before.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you only have one emoji. Usually, homegirl come in with 2, 3, 4 emojis. It's taking over. Yeah. Yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Took me out.
Yeah.
Well, that's all I had.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can talk about that a little bit more and help process with it, because I don't like seeing my friend like that. I understand it's a journey and life be lifing, so we have to experience all of those emotions in order to come out stronger. But yeah, let me know how I can show up for you with this and outside of this, okay?
Always. What's your emoji?
I'm good. Even when I came in, because this is a Saturday, so you got to run your little errands. I had to go to Targets. I had little things to do. But when I came, I still gotta go grocery shopping, so still got stuff to do. But when I came in, even talking to my daughter, I'm like, I feel so good right now. Life is happening, and there are some changes that are occurring, but I trust that God got me. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a lot to figure out, it could feel overwhelming, it could almost feel stressful, I'm still very much thankful. So I want to stress that I choose to be happy in this moment. So yeah, I even got a little teary-eyed even thinking about what we're going to speak about today, just because of how deep it is and looking at how far we've come. If so, we'll grab something. We'll grab something. But I'm good. I'm choosing to be happy and allowing whatever feelings to come in and process it, but trying to look at the more positive, being more optimistic. So yeah.
Yep.
So did I say emoji? So emoji.
What's your emoji? You told us how you felt.
Yeah,
but
how I felt. Dang.
Emoji.
So it gotta be one that's smiling, but I want to say the one with the hearts around it. So the one that's smiling, but
the one that's like all, like if you type it all.
Yeah, exactly. Like I feel the love from everywhere, and I know I have some amazing people in my corner, i.e., my bestie. I got my family. I have great friends, and they're showing up in a way that I couldn't have imagined. So thank you. So I do feel that around me, and I think that's what's pouring into me right now.
Always.
Yeah.
Always show up. Like,
I know, girl. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do for each other. Okay. Yes, friend.
So
yes.
Today, y'all, we're gonna talk about spirituality
Mm-hmm.
and your relationship with God. So, like, we've been talking a lot about this and why this is like so important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I feel for me why it's important because a lot of times we go through valleys and we go through a lot of trying times, but then we go through happy times, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm a believer in God, I'm a believer in Christ.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times when we go through those happy times, we forget to be thankful and grateful for those happy times that God has blessed us with. And then we go through sad times or sad situations, and then we kind of turn away because things aren't going the way that we want to go to, right?
Yeah.
When really during that time, we should just cling harder and just really like let go, release, and just allow him to.
It's almost embrace the process.
To do
Yeah.
the work. And yes, embrace the process.
Exactly.
Embrace what's going on.
Yeah, because it's meant to shape you. It's not meant to kill and destroy you. You know, we talk about the experiences that we've had, and yes, these tribulations, but there's one thing that rang so true, and I forget who told it to me where it really resonated, but it was like, this too shall pass. And when you think about it in that way, it's like, oh my gosh, this is so horrible what I'm going through. If it's because of loss or hurt, whatever, it's like, this too shall pass. Like, that's great. It won't be like this forever. But on the other side, I've graduated from school. We in that graduation era right now. Or like, I've got this promotion in my job. Things are going great. Even with me feeling happy right now, this also too shall pass. But it's like, let me embrace it and know that in every moment that I'm going through, that God is trying to show me and shape me into something great.
Yeah, like everything is a lesson.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to make you stronger.
Yeah.
But also a lot of times it's supposed to make you wiser, right?
Yeah.
And not fall for that same type of hamster wheel type of thing.
Girl, we just talked about that.
I had to bring it up. And not try to fall for that same type of hamster wheel because it's supposed to make you stronger. And it's supposed to make you a better person, but all in all, it's supposed to really trust in him and really cling to him.
It is.
Because like I was reading something and it was like, man, I only need God to get into heaven or something like that. And then somebody had wrote like, I need God just to go to Walmart. Like I need God, and I feel that way too. Like I need God just to like eat my cereal.
Yeah, and every aspect, every action. I need you in there. I need you present.
Present at all times.
At all times.
Because if you would like take your hand away from me, I just don't know if I'll be able to survive. Not be able to. I know I wouldn't be able to. Because of how you've kept me, in peace for so long.
Yeah. Help me even in the hardship, because we've experienced some very low moments, those valleys. And when you look over it after you've come out of it, you're like, gosh, how did I get through that?
For sure.
And it's like nothing but God, because he had his hand in it. He carried you through it. Because on my own, I could have not done it on my own. Not. And I think that's where my faith has really grown, is that I've understood I'm not in control. Like I try to have my hand over everything, but being able to relinquish that.
See, trying to let go of control is so hard. And like, okay, so let's just set it up, right?
Okay.
So like for me, trying to let go of that control is like, because I am independent. I do a lot of things on my own. I have a big girl job. It's like most people like to say. So, it's really hard to let go of that control. But then you have to think about it like, I really ain't getting nowhere without him.
Yeah.
So he's really kind of been controlling everything.
And low key, with me controlling that, I've got myself in some mess.
And then, exactly. Because I can get, this one no. But I can get myself into some shit.
Yes.
And I'd be like, Chloe, I think,
Because you thought that you knew better.
And I can get myself into some shit.
Yeah, it get real messy when we try to figure it out on our own.
Exactly.
It really does. And it's like, we just talked right before this. Whereas guys like, no, let me remind you then. You think you got it? Let me sit you down. Because I tried to show you where it didn't hurt you, but you seem to not understand nothing else.
Oh
but
my gosh, that is so true. So that is like exactly we were discussing that. So like I had a friend situation and we were really, really close friends or whatever. Yeah. But God kept showing me that this is not your friend. This is not your friend. This is not how it's supposed to be. Right. But I was like, well, you know, you got to be forgiving. You got to give people second chances. It's okay. And so, baby,
he was like, I tried to show you.
He tried to show me like, okay, sweet and kind.
Yeah.
Nice and soft. He had to rip me up out of that.
Yeah.
He had to rip
you up real quick.
Up out of that. And that hurt that I felt, but I needed to feel that because I was like, it was a situation like, God, I don't think I'm gonna leave him alone. So you gonna have to, you gonna have to leave me. Yeah. You gonna have to let him. Something gonna happen because I'm not moving.
Exactly. It's something that's keeping you stuck there for whatever reason. You know it's not right, and we've all had these situations. We know better. You know what I'm saying, but we don't. Do better. We don't do better for whatever reason, particularly for this situation. It's like I've been dealing with this person for so long. They show me so many great things about themselves. I don't want to give up on them because you still are stuck and like they can change. But cycles and patterns show you that they're the same person. So it's like God gives you an exit plan 10 steps ago. You didn't take it. I'm going to force you into it.
I didn't take it.
I'm trying to show you I know best and I have something better prepared for you. Yeah.
Kept ignoring it. Like, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
No.
One more time. Let's see.
It's okay.
Right. One more conversation is going to click for this person.
But no. That last one, I needed that. Yeah. And I needed to feel that pain, though. I needed to feel
You needed to feel it, and what was, I guess, looking at it in a positive way, it's like I wanted to take you away from it and now spend time with me so I can get your heart together.
And I feel like that's exactly what he's doing to me right now is just really being like, okay, I need you to get back focused. And like for me, sometimes I struggle with staying focused. Like it's that ADHD thing, I guess.
Come on, squirrel.
Baby, it's real.
Yeah.
So I struggle with like, not staying focused, but maintaining that initial focus. So I think I like that better. So I would say like I'm headstrong on this, and then something happens, and then I go do something else, and then I come back to it, but I'm starting back from where I left off at. When really I should probably finish the path. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think
you
God
get to that finish line.
Yes, and he's trying to show me like, okay, we need to get focused so you can finish this because I'm not done with you yet on this part. He's never done, but he's not done with me yet on this part.
So he has to disrupt some things. You know, and remove some things away from you so you can focus and, laser focus
on what's important and making sure that I am serving him. Yeah. And so that brings me to a point to like, okay, so did you watch the Lauren London interview?
Which one?
With Angie. Okay, so she states like her relationship with God and how it became stronger after her grief, and so she stated like whatever God has for me in this moment, like I don't want to miss my mark. Like whatever my purpose is for him, I just don't want to miss that. And that's so important to me because like it's a purpose for everybody. Like everybody is supposed to be here to do something and to be of pleasing to God. And whatever it is that I know I'm supposed to be, I don't want to be misguided from that. I don't want to be distracted from that. I want to maintain laser focus on him.
Yeah.
Because the minute that I don't maintain laser focus, then shit like this gonna happen.
Yeah. It does. And it's scary to be that vulnerable and relinquish that control because, you know, I don't see God. I know he's present, but it's like he allows me to go through certain hurtful moments. So it's like, I don't want to feel that. So let me figure out how I can bypass it, you know, but God is telling me that it won't always be happy. It won't always be easy. It may take that struggles to really shape and mold you into who you're saying, even yourself, that you want to be. So it's like, I want to embrace whatever moment it is. I want to feel it. I want to own it. And I want to cherish whatever it is, because I know it's gonna be beneficial for me.
For sure.
But it's like, God, please don't let it break me. Like, I'm scared of that part, but it's so much necessary. So when you talk about Lauren going through her grief, our grief, mine in particular, and speaking about it, it broke me. And coming out of it, I kept myself busy because I didn't want to process. I didn't even want to deal with it. I didn't even want to look at God because I don't even understand how you could do this to me. But at a certain point, I had to acknowledge that everybody has a start and an end date. And within that time, there's so much for us to learn. So what did you learn from the experience of being with your parents? What was that love like? How can I give that same type of love, if not more, to my child and to the people I care about? But it's hard looking at it from that standpoint when you're going through it. It's only when you come out of it. But when I came out of it, it's like God forced me into it. I had pent it up where it's like almost I didn't trust you anymore. I didn't even know how to pray to you. I didn't even know how to look at you with this hurt in my heart. But once I acknowledged that I could no longer carry it anymore, like, I couldn't go to my friends. I couldn't go to my siblings. There's nobody else left but him. And when I finally let it go and I gave it to him, it was such a freeing moment because I relinquished everything I thought I knew and completely trusted him. And I think that's what he's asking of us. It's like, trust me with it all. I got you. Yeah. It may hurt. It may sting. And it may not be the most pleasant thing, but trust I have something better on the other side of it. And I think that's what Lauren was trying to convey. Like, it's so much better on the other side. But you really have to trust in his word and his promises because he hasn't failed you. You know, it may not look the way you want it to because we want everything rosy, sunny, and shiny. It's going to be muddy. But trust that even in that, I still got you. I'm still carrying you and I'm protecting you.
No, yeah, I agree with you on everything on that. And I feel like, going back to what you said, like, it might break me, but when you get broken, you also get reshaping.
Yeah. Shatter all of this.
So a lot of times, when you break something, it's not going to be the same. But then again, do you want to be the same? Because remember, I mentioned that hamster wheel, and that same is going on that hamster wheel. Yeah. I don't want to be the same. Exactly. I want to be broken, and so I can get reshaping. Yes. So I can get better.
Break off all of that that's keeping me from you. That's keeping me from showing up as my best self. Break all of it. But before then, it's like, no, I need that. I need that protection. I need that hardness. Because I feel like that's my protection from ever being hurt from somebody. Yeah. But it's like, no, I need to break off that layer of me to be vulnerable because of what I went through, and me speaking about it, and that vulnerability is going to heal somebody else.
Yeah. No.
So it's like, break it all up, tear it all up if needed. It's scary. Build me up new. Build me up new.
Build me new. Yeah. And that's really what I feel like that I needed to do, and that's what I feel like that I'm going through right now is building me new. And so, like, I'm excited for this new journey, although I know that it is stinging at the moment. And the reason why it's stinging because I did not listen, and it could have been done easier had I had listened, but I didn't.
Or listen, use your wisdom, because this wasn't the first time.
Listen, using wisdom, just, making sure that I was connected with him, and I wasn't. Like, I was connected, but not like I should have been. You know, not like trusting like I should have been.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, and you said that hardness with our hearts, right? So we need that shield around our hearts.
We think we do.
To protect us. But sometimes, you know, you have to allow God to
penetrate it. Yeah. It still give him
do all of
access
that.
to it.
Exactly.
It's one thing to have a guard or discernment. I'm learning that a discernment of who is worthy of you opening your heart to, but that protection, because everybody isn't worthy of. Everybody don't need that part of you.
They don't.
But
they don't deserve that part. They don't appreciate it.
They don't appreciate. They don't respect it.
They don't appreciate it.
They
don't respect it.
But that's where discernment comes in, because we're using our wisdom. We've had so many life experiences, and we can kind of tell who's worthy. Friendships, intimate relationships, we're learning that, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, God is like, give me all of it. Don't do that for me. You know what I'm saying? I think that what has really like worked me. So it was something that I heard, and I hope I say it the way I feel it. I feel like I'm bringing in my Sarah Jakes Roberts right now. Let me say it the way I feel it. You know?
I'm listening.
But the thing for me, for God, and this is what has strengthened my relationship, even just recently, is that it was a story that was told about a little boy stealing from the store. He was going to be condemned for doing that, but his father stepped in and was like, let me take that for him. Let me take that for him.
And that's what God does for
and that's
us.
what God does for us.
Does
But
that for
the
us.
thing, what if that child goes back and does the same thing over and over again? After your father has already sacrificed his life for you, you're going to continue to do that?
What a
to
slap
him?
in the face.
What a slap in the face. So for me, and I'm going to be transparent in this, I feel like my sexuality, I feel like that continues to be a slap in the face to God. It's like, I knew I probably should not have engaged in certain things with this person. But it's like I was feeding my flesh in this moment. And that's not what God wanted for me. So it's like at every turn, stuff was not working out. And it's like I'm steady praying to God, asking him to show me, but I'm not giving him this one part. That's where that control is.
That's exactly
it's
where
like I can give you it in every other area, but my flesh, I'm gonna keep that for myself.
It's like that you're telling him, like y'all having like a bargaining, like a reasoning situation. Like, no, I want this one right here. Make this one right.
Right, exactly.
And God is trying to tell you that's not the one for you.
That's not
but we
it.
keep saying, make this
and
one
we
right.
Be forcing
Make it right. I want it to be cold. It's water. Make it cold. You can do this, but God keeps saying, nah,
no,
this is not what I have for you.
Exactly. And it's like you say, it's a slap in the face. So going to him in my prayer time, it's like you said, praying for this, but you're not even giving me all of it. You're not even giving me all of you.
No.
So I think when I think of it like that, it's like, okay, I need to do better. I need to do better. I need to live my life better. So I think that changed, yes, my interactions with people, but it also changed what I bring into like just my realm, like what I listen to, who I speak to, who I have around me, because I don't want to be tempted in certain ways. Like I have to remove certain things from myself to reduce that temptation, because we all are tempted. You know, we will
forever get tempted,
and we want it fast, we want it quick. So I forced relationships, I forced myself in certain situations because we want things quickly, we want it immediately, and that's just with our society now. But it's like I feel like I knew better, and God was like, girl, let me sit you down. That's why your heart keep getting broke. That's why, you know, finances or just anything was happening, because you're not trusting me with it. You're not even trusting yourself low key, you know, and
because you know this is wrong already.
You already know it. So it's like, dang, even after those intimate moments, I'll sit there and be like, like it fed me for a minute, you know.
It feeds you for a minute, and then all of a sudden, like when you come out of it, you just be like,
now what?
Such a disappointment.
You still not my person. Like I'm still not getting what I really want.
I'm not getting that initial intimacy, which is really what I want. That's why you engage in this situation.
Exactly. This is what I'm doing it for.
I'm not getting that, and it's not feeding exactly what I need. So you trying to say it's feeding your flesh, but like for how long though?
For those 5, 10, 15, I give you 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Of where it's cool, but it's like after that, it's like I'm looking at this like,
you gotta give him 15 minutes,
and then it makes me emotional because it's like I know I shouldn't do this. I know
15 minutes.
mean, give me a little bit extra before 30. You know what I'm saying? But it's not forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a forever moment in 30 minutes.
I'm teasing. But no, seriously.
Yeah, serious, because we want it so quick, and I want it right now. And it was like almost like not that I can get what I can get, but it wasn't like that. But it was like I wanted it right now. I wanted to feel it, all of it, versus waiting patiently for my person.
For the whole person.
Because
you're only getting half of that person anyway.
If not half.
You're
like a
percentage.
A small percentage.
You're not getting the whole person, and that's really what you truly want. You want the true intimacy of that whole person. That's truly what I want. So that's what happens when you continue to engage in situations that you know are not really pleasing to God and are not really beneficial to you. Like, what benefit is this having for me? Because honestly speaking, it's leaving me heartbroken. I'm getting left lonely. I am sad because I was displeasing to the Father.
Yes.
I am sad because...
This is supposed to be a temple. This is supposed to be something sacred that I'm giving so freely away.
Exactly. So think about this like with a child. You never want to disappoint your parents.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you do.
And it's disappointing.
That's exactly what you do.
It's like I've done all
but
this
we have
for
to think
you,
about
Lord.
it like this. He has done so much, but you know what he is? He's also so forgiving.
He's so forgiving.
So I have to say this all the time. And then when I talk to other people and then they say like, Rhea, how you are forgiven? I'm like, Jesus forgives. And I know I done some shit. And he just keeps forgiving.
I made some mistakes.
So I have to forgive also, but move accordingly. And I think that's where people get the confusion of like, oh, I forgive you, so we can just go back to the way that things were. But
we gotta make a change.
We have to make a change, but I'm still forgive you. Like I'm gonna forgive you.
Move forward.
It's over. We move forward.
Because you can't grow. You can't even heal if you don't forgive that person.
Because the forgiveness is for you. It's not necessarily for that person because you never know if that person really gave a fuck about what they did to you or not. Let's just really keep it out right. Put it all out on the table. They could give a fuck about what they did to you. So it's really for you. And so like you have to forgive. And I forgive honestly because Jesus forgives and he forgave us for everything that we've done. So I have to do it.
Baby, when I look over all of my life,
that's how
my goodness, like I've made so many mistakes, but he's kept me. Like I went out there like running the streets crazy, but homegirl used to be outside. You know what I'm saying? And I say to myself, it had to have been a praying grandmother. Somebody's hand
to
had
cover
to be,
you.
Cover me. Because why was I over there and all of this foolishness happening? It may have struck
Why would
them.
you engage in foolishness like this when you know that you are better than that? When you know that God has already made you better than that.
Exactly.
But like I told you before, and like I said before, if we can see ourselves like he sees us, then we wouldn't necessarily have all this bullshit that we do. Like we wouldn't necessarily have all this mess that we engage in. We wouldn't necessarily have all this heartbreak, quite honestly, if we just continue to see ourselves like he see him. And that's why like I really understood when Lauren said like I need to really focus on being pleasing to him. Not saying that I'm going to always achieve it, but that's my goal. So sometimes I might meet it. It's done with good intent. Sometimes I might meet that goal, and other days I might fall short. But even on those days that I fall short, I still have Jesus helping me. I'm coming to God like, you know what, she did it, but she's sorry though. And
even in your intimate times, it's important for me, and I know for us both, to be very honest. Like I tried
for sure,
and I fell short.
Like, for sure,
help me. For like sure. I don't know how to do it. I need some direction. I need some guidance because I want to do what's right, but I'm not sure what that is. And now, trust me, he gives you that. So one of the things I know I've heard from other people is like, how does God speak to you? How does he talk to you? How do you know
Talk about
what
that
direction?
More, friend.
And for me, it's not necessarily a word.
No.
Like he's not saying, Chloe, do this, do that.
Like coming down, cracking the sky.
But it's such a powerful urge in my body to do, to say, to act a certain way, there's like, I know that's him, because this is not of my own doing. I have many thoughts up in here, right? Sometimes it's very confusing on like, is it me or is it him? But it's like a feeling that comes up over me. It's almost like a warm, almost fire-like urge that is like compelling me to do what's right.
Yeah.
So in those moments, again, it's not necessarily for me. I can only speak for myself and my experience. It's not necessarily a word. It's dreams sometimes. Cameron. Sorry, my daughter's coming in. It's not necessarily a word, but it'll come through like a dream.
It'll come through a dream. And for me, when I have talks, like, so I have a lot of thoughts, but I write a lot of things down. Like I told you all, I keep a journal. So I write a lot of things down. I have a lot of talks. But certain things, and I can just talk about for me, certain things I won't think to write, but I will write them down. And I know that ain't me.
Yes, just like somebody's taking over that.
I know that ain't me. Or some things, like I will have certain thoughts. Yeah. And then, you thinking or whatever. And certain thoughts come, and I know it's not me. Like, I know I would have never thought that. And then a lot of times when I come, sometimes, and not sometimes, a lot of times when I call on God or when I'm in stressful situations, I just say, you know what, give me the words. Because I don't know what to say.
I don't even know what to say. Even in my prayer time, I've said that to myself. My prayer time is very intimate. I explain on another time. But it's like, I don't even know what to say, Lord. Like, I just hear or feel my heart. It's there. But for whatever reason, it's not coming out verbally for me to express it. But please read my heart. Please be impressionable on my heart and feel that, because it's there, but in this moment I don't even know what to say.
I feel that same way too. A lot of times you may not know what you want to say, or you don't have the words to articulate what you're trying to say.
He's making an appearance, sorry.
Our co-host. So you may not have the words to articulate what you're trying to say, but the thing is that when you spend your intimate time or your meditation with God, He gives you what you need. And so that's what you say, that's what you pray about.
But that's what having a relationship is. It's not just going to Him
a relationship
when you're stressed or you're falling on hard times. It's every single day, multiple times a day. And that's how even our friendship has grown. Like, we talk constantly. It's not just I'm coming to you to gossip about somebody. I'm not just calling you because this dude did something to me. Like, it's my day in. Like, I'm wanting to rejoice with you.
Always.
I want to cry with you. I want to laugh. I want to joke. All of those moments I want to experience with you. So even when I don't say anything, you know how I'm feeling because we have a connection.
Exactly.
That's what God is asking.
That's exactly what God is asking of us. That's what He wants to be for us. He wants to do all of that. He says this all the time. Like, I will replace that what you are missing and what you are needing. But the control, we gotta release that control.
And have a genuine relationship is so important. And you may not know, and I think for me, I didn't grow up in church. So to me, I always thought prayer time was me being on my knees with a Bible in front of me. And it wasn't what I have evolved into where it can take place in the car, in my office, even in intimate times. Like, it can happen anywhere. But for me, I thought it had to look a certain way. And it doesn't. God is just telling me to show up.
He says just come as you are. Just come exactly as you are. For me, I did grow up in church. I am a preacher's kid. But a lot of times with that, and sometimes you have a lot of eyes on you because they expect you to be a certain way or they expect you to behave a certain way, and you just like you don't know, like, I just got suspended for fighting. True story. So why are you expecting me to do, to be this certain type of person? And it's a different type of expectation that they have on you that you don't even have for yourself. So, like, when we think about that, just those two different backgrounds, grew up, did not grow up, and still we are longing for a better relationship with Him. That should say right there that anybody can come, because I went through a point where I was just like, not saying that I always believed, but my faith wasn't as strong as it is now. It just wasn't. And now that I see what God has done for my son, how He has really blessed him, and now that I see what God has done for my dad, for my parents, and like how he has continued to keep them. I just really get to see the faith through his works, my faith growth through his works. And so I feel disappointed, like, why wouldn't I allow him to handle this situation for me when he's handled plenty of situations for me.
Nothing's too hard.
And this is just like, but you know, you mentioned earlier, it's time to get broken, to get built up again, reshaped.
That is so deep, friend.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it, like, I think during even a situation with my parents, that was probably the hardest. Yeah. And I speak about it all the time. Even me and my sister talked about it this morning. And that time could have broken me. And certain parts, Lord, it did. It definitely did. But looking back over it, like, not saying, yes, I would have wanted it to happen a different way, but the way that it did strengthened my faith in him so much. Like, even in the time where my father was passing, and I remember the chaplain coming, and my father, a beautiful man, love my daddy, but he wasn't a Bible toter. But in his final days, I remember the chaplain, he shared our same last name. It was so unique. God works in such amazing ways. But my daddy holding out his hands to pray with him, I've never seen my daddy do that ever. And being able to embrace the Lord in that way, even in his final moments, and relinquishing, like, if this is what it is, I accept it. Right. And seeing my daddy, this strong, powerful man, like, just giving his life over like that. That was so beautiful for me. And looking over that, it's like you gain some type of peace, and you know, like, God is working at all times. And for me, I think that's what keeps me going, because last March, I was broken. I tried to keep it in so tightly, all of those emotions. I had to be strong for my daughter. I feel like I had to be strong for my other family members. And I kept all of those feelings in. And when I finally let it go, it's almost like I can breathe. It was like an exhale moment. But it was like, I trust that God will see me even through this. I was so scared of embracing it because I didn't know how I was going to show up. I thought I was going to lose my mind. Like, you're going to have to admit me to somebody's psych ward, because I was so scared of myself. Yeah. And it was like, when I finally did release it, it's like I saw life in a totally different way. And looking back over, it was like God was right there. He just told me to give it over to him. He didn't tell me to carry all of that, but I chose to, because I felt like I knew better. And once I did relinquish it, it was such a freeing moment. And I think that's the feeling, even what I was trying to captivate with my emoji. It's like I feel so free, because I'm not holding all of that in. And I'm feeling like I can make the decision. I can move the things. I can say the things. Like, no, like, I can't. Like, yes, I have this faith. I do still have to work at this now. Like, guys, like, I could just pray about it. You mentioned and then I don't have to do anything. I still have to work towards it. But, like, I trust that He gonna be right there. Yeah. Like, I'm not doing it by myself. Like, yes, I'm a single mother. Yes, I'm single. I'm not married, but I'm not alone.
And I think that's really good that you mentioned that, going back to with your dad and how, you know, he allowed the chaplain to pray for him, and he just really released. He was just vulnerable to accept that. He released all of his cares unto God, and that is just, like you stated, a beautiful moment. And then you mentioned something that was impactful as well. Certain things we're still going to struggle with, and even though we see the struggle, like we see like what we're struggling with, this still might impact us for a very long time, and we still have to trust God will help us with that, because there's certain situations that I know that I've been through in my life that I was able to pray and it just kind of went away, right? But I know it's certain situations that I'm going through or have still going through, and it's just not taking a 1, 2, 3, 4 prayer fast for 5 days and I'm cured. It's not taking that. Like, it is taking structure. It is taking discipline.
Oh, that's a big one.
It is taking all of that intentional work with getting closer to Christ. Because I know that this is something that I am struggling with, but I know I want to be better. So do I want to keep suffering and continue with that hamster wheel, or do I want to just release.
Yeah, release. And one of the things that you just touched on is being intentional about it. So for me, again, I didn't grow up in church, went to church, I've been baptized, but it wasn't something I was doing daily. So as of recently, and we can speak to that, because some people may not know, like, how do you start that journey? And for me, I really had to change a lot of stuff in my life. Again, we go through these cycles, and at some point we got to do something different to break it. So for me, like, even waking up in the morning before I even grab to my phone or do anything, I'd be like, thank you, Lord. Because he could have ended it. Yeah. He could have. Yes. But you didn't. You kept me for a purpose. So I'm saying thank you. And I go right into my devotional. So on the Bible app, and I'm so faithful to that now. This Bible app, it gives me a scripture for the day, and then it gives me a devotional, which is so powerful.
What I started reading, of course, waking up and praying, but I've started reading the book of Proverbs. And I just really started reading that because it has a lot of wisdom in that I want to be impactful in my life.
Yeah. So living that out. So starting your day with the word and with relationships. So that's just talking. So for me, because I'm not a morning person, like, at all. At all.
Neither one of us are.
I'm very quiet in the morning, but one of the things I've started doing, my devotional, someone speaking about the scripture and giving perspective and real life situations tied to it. Because sometimes for me with scripture, it's like, how does that really apply to me? Like, make this make sense. And for this devotional, they really break down the scripture into real life experiences. So I listen to that first. But even like, I've changed even the music I listen to. So, in the morning, like, it's almost like I got to get amps. So let me listen to Cardi, let me listen to whoever, and like, let me get my energy up to embrace our very stressful jobs. You know what I'm saying? But like, now I should be listening to praise and worship, like Christian music. And I think it was No For Sure, they were talking about like a lot of the new artists sound like the artists that we listen to. They're more secular. But it's like, I was even listening to it this morning. I was like, oh, girl, sound like Janae Aiko. Like, oh my gosh. But she's speaking about the word. Is like, not saying that you have to completely dismiss like secular music.
The only thing is that not to cut you off, you don't have to completely dismiss it, but whatever you want in your spirit, you have to be intentional about what you want in your spirit. So if I'm trying to say that I want to follow God, if I'm trying to say that I want to be more intentional with him, then I need to be more intentional with him, not only with my work, but with what I listen to and what I am putting in my spirit.
When I tell you, it's
so when I say that in the morning time that I stay in worship in the morning time, I stay in worship in the morning time from the time I get into the car till I get inside of my office. Even when I go to different schools, because you all know I work in the city, so it's a little, pray for our kids. Let's just say that.
Say that.
But what I'm saying is that I stay with that worship. I stay with that worship because I need that worship. And the reason why I need that, because I might see other people and I want them to feel this was on me. I need you to feel this was on me, because I understand that you might have not had the bad day. I understand that the babies may not be the best. I understand that you may be struggling with places to live, but I need you to feel this on me because it's hope. And I try to be intentional with hope starting my day.
Yes. Oh my
God.
So
that's why.
So powerful.
That's why I get it when you say you don't have to stop listening to secular music all the time. You don't. You definitely don't. But be intentional about what you do listen to.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm about to tear up over here. So like what you just said is so powerful. It's like I want God to like breathe through me, that it touches everybody that I come in contact with. Like that, even just my interactions, it may be the couple words, but I want you to feel God's presence on me, because you don't know how that can impact somebody because of the line of work that we are in. Parents, other teachers, whoever, admin, are going through life. Life is lifing for everybody. But if I meet you with this rah because I listen to Busted Wide Open or some crazy stuff early in the morning, I'm not meeting you with what you need.
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying? It does. So it's like I need to fill my space with things that could be encouraging and uplifting. So his word, even without me quoting a scripture, it still can heal somebody.
It still can heal somebody.
Yeah.
It still is within
I love
me.
that you said that.
And so a lot of
That's
times,
awesome.
Thank you, friend. I appreciate that. And a lot of times, I want to make sure that my child has God within him.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
intentional about that.
That's good.
Intentional about that because and I tell him this: you can be successful and not have a relationship and make a lot of money. That happens all the time. We know that happens all the time. Look at Donald Trump. Look at Elon Musk. You can be successful and have a lot of money all the time, but if your heart not right, then what's the purpose? I believe Steve Jobs, before he died, you all know he died of pancreatic cancer, and he literally said, "I had all the money in the world, but I did not have enough to save me." That's powerful right there.
It means nothing. Like, I think that's just the way of the world, that we think that money is going to cure it all. But if your heart isn't right, if your heart posture is not firm, if it's not in the right place, it means nothing. You become destructive, not just to yourself, but that bleeds over into other people.
It bleeds over.
You start to influence people with that same mindset, you know, and that's destructive. That's not, we're supposed to breathe life, not of destruction at all. And I think that's what, from what you were saying, that's what you're trying to breathe into every interaction of who you have with it. Because again, going back like to the music, that is where I find my comfort. That's where I find a lot of strength if I don't innately feel it as soon as I wake up. You know? Like, I need this. So that Nook If You Bug, sometimes it gets me going. You know?
No, it does.
It does.
We're not going to sit up here and act like secular music don't be happening. Nah, we're not going to act like that.
It's something where I can't really Nook If You Bug at work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't come in rah.
I can't be angry.
I can't be angry because I lose my job and I lose everything I work so hard for. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, okay, help me manage this, Lord. And that was another thing I wanted to bring up, is that we're going to come into situations that are going to be difficult. But I ask God, and this is my thing as of lately, help me manage it. Like, you can't take it away. You can't take it away. You're not going to say that I'm not going to endure hard times, but help me manage through that. Like, help me show up, help me communicate better, help me feel differently. Like, it's not going to be easy, it's not going to be, you know, smooth at all times, but Lord, help me manage it in every way,
every aspect.
It is, and it's so powerful when you give that part, like, to him. Be like, I ain't got it. I tried to control it. Obviously, I messed it up. So just help me manage it, because it's all going to still work through me. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be something different. So help me manage it, because I tried it my way. It's not working. So help me do better.
Yeah, just letting God know I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I don't know.
And that's that vulnerability, friend, where, like even in relationships, and I've heard this from, again, Pepper wants to be seen, okay? So, even in relationships where I've heard from certain men that sometimes they don't want to say that, I don't know how to figure this out.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how to solve this. I'm not good in this area. But it's like that ego or that
I don't know what to say.
Exactly. But that ego, when you relinquish that and you tell the person you feel safe with, your woman, your wife, your girlfriend, whatever, it's like, I know that has to be very freeing, because we do expect men to show up in certain ways and to be strong.
That they
and
just
have it figured
cannot
out.
do.
And that's so unrealistic. So for me, I'm sorry, black man, that if I put that type of pressure on you.
It's very unrealistic, because we don't see. I think a lot of times.
Oh, let's talk about it. That's gonna be on the next
episode. But that's very hard for black men to do that, because we want them strong. We want them to be protectors. But then all of a sudden, I want them to boo-hoo and cry, like I'm a boo-hoo and cry with Chloe.
Exactly.
Which one
do you want? And don't make them feel less than if they do become emotional, if they are being vulnerable.
Exactly.
So what I'm trying to tie that back with God is that in that moment, be as vulnerable as you can. Don't go to him feeling like you got it, because then you're making it seem like you're better than him. So, like, no, let's not do that.
There is nobody good but God.
Yes. Let's say it. Let's say it again. Nobody
is good but God.
But God.
Period.
Great. Okay. That's it.
That is it.
So, and he knows our faults. He knows us better than we know ourselves. So coming to him with that arrogance is so disrespectful. So
no reverence.
Yes.
So disrespectful.
Yeah.
So, I get it. I agree with you, friend, on everything. I guess now that
She ain't got to rub on you all the time. Come here, son. Yes.
Pepper loves me.
He does. He like the way real smell. As you can see, we're learning consent. You don't just steal kisses from mommy, okay? But come you going?
Yeah. So what I was saying is that going back to, I just don't want to miss my mark for him because he's done so much for me. And then I have to think about like, what is that though? Like, what does that look like for me? And I'm still working with trying to figure out like what is that and what that looks like
Which
for me.
part? What?
Like not missing my mark on what he has called me to do for him. And so is it me making sure that I am more compassionate with his people? Is it making sure that I am educating or informing his people about gifts that I know that I have? Like what is that? I remember I was talking to my sister, and so we were discussing about like why why do you help, or like why do you always give advice about like school psychology or things like that, because that's what we do. And I was like, it's a scripture in the Bible, I believe it's in Hebrews, and it says that if you have the knowledge to help others, why would you keep that?
Yeah, you gotta share that.
You have to share it. And I told her that, and so she was just speechless. I was like, yeah, because if I have this, why will I hoard this?
That, yeah.
This is for
Where
everybody.
can bless somebody else.
to
This
know.
isn't just for me, you know? And I think that's
Exactly.
powerful as well.
Yeah, it's like when you think about like money, like, or you don't want to be selfish with money. You don't want to be selfish with time. Although sometimes I am learning you have to be.
Again, discernment.
So you don't want to be selfish with those things because you want to be a blessing and beneficial to others.
Yeah, he's blessed us. So let me give that right back. It's like, giving it right back to him in that way when you can't help others. If that's through knowledge, if it's through financial, if it's just being a presence.
Just being a presence.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes people don't even need you to speak anything. Don't need you to give anything. I just need to know that somebody's there. You need to physically feel that someone is there for you. So do that.
Yeah. What do you think yours is?
This is such a deep
That's why I said, like, I'm still trying to figure it out myself.
I know it's, I know I'm compassionate. Somebody just asked me this yesterday. Like, what is that about me? And I said it's me being compassionate. That's again why we're in education. You have to be.
You have to be
But
compassionate.
I'm such a nurturer, and it comes so naturally.
And patient. Yeah.
Yes, I'm learning. He is trying to get rubbed on every which way but Sunday, okay? Like, goodness,
Patience. Patience.
At all turns.
Patience.
Yes, my dog is teaching me that too.
Patience.
But it's like, I think that's where it is. How am I supposed to use it? Because even when I was thinking about like my gifts and my talents, it has to be something in education because that just comes so naturally. Come here, baby. As you can see, he's crawling to Rhea. Okay. He want to feel. And she curled up with her. Now, let's not do too much, Pepper. Shoot. But don't kiss
So we
her.
don't kiss. Remember, I don't like that.
Consent, friend.
I don't
you gotta
like
use your
that.
words. You gotta use your
I'm
words.
sorry. I don't like that. We talked about this.
You're gonna have to come back to mama because she don't like it.
I don't like
doing
that
doing
part.
the most.
I don't like that
But
part.
it has to do something with helping the next person, especially like kids and families. I feel like that's where my heart is. I think that's where my gifts are.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, give me the keys, give me the tools so I can do that according to like to feed your purpose. So
To feed your purpose. I agree with that. Just kind of figuring that out. And I think sometimes our purposes, they change as we evolve.
yeah, they evolve. Yeah, exactly.
They change as we evolve. Like some things may still be. Go to mommy.
Come here, thinking man. Come on.
They change as we evolve, right? So like certain times we have purposes to bless others with our time and with our patience. And certain times we have others to bless others with our courageousness or our bravery or even our tough talk. Like you need to be talked to. Like this is not right. So that's a blessing in itself. Like a like a tough lesson or tough love, I should probably say. That's probably better. So they change as we evolve. And so thinking
But
about
shows up for people in different ways. Like certain people may need this aspect, but others can benefit from other parts of you.
yeah.
Come here, sit down.
Yeah. And I agree with that, because a lot of times as we are evolving as a person and as we are growing strong with our faith and with our intentional relationship with God, again, it's not always up, right? It goes through hills and valleys. It goes up, it goes down. So certain times you might be strong in certain situations to where you're able to bless others and you're really able to find your purpose. And then other times you are not strong and you might be deep, and so you allow others to pour into you. And so you have to be more accepting of that as well. Like allow that, like not necessarily shutting down the world or shutting off the world, but allowing others to come and pour into you, because that's intentional too, because you want to be a blessing to others, but you have to allow others to be a blessing to you.
That's good.
So it just depends.
Yeah, I love that.
I really think, I guess when we think about purpose, I guess when we think about it, just changes. Like, you know, I don't think nobody truly knows exactly. You see what I'm saying? Because just think about us with our careers, right? We like on our third one.
Yes. I just wrote a letter to my colleagues about, you know, my time and what I'm choosing to do moving forward. And when I looked over, I'm like, I've done so many
That's what I'm
things
saying. We're like on
within
our
this
third
industry
one
of education. And I've learned something. I've grown from each one of them. And I wouldn't have taken away that experience.
Absolutely.
But it took people pouring into me, showing me a different way to think. So it's like I had to be accepting of that too.
Yeah.
So knowing that there are earthly angels planted in certain areas of your life, meant to show you something, teach you something.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That has good intentions for you.
Yeah. Everybody ain't bad.
Everybody ain't bad. Everybody is not bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like that. And then like, you know, so that's my thing about like moving forward and moving closer.
Yeah. It's intentionality with it. I'm purposefully striving to do better, grow deeper in my faith journey. And it's one day at a time, you know what I'm saying? But I'm thankful that I have people in my life where I can talk about that, because it's not easy. So it's like,
not easy to talk about people. Talk about that to people.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not.
And because even sometimes as of recently, I had it in the back of my head. It's like, oh, girl, you sounding too churchy. Like, you constantly talking about God. But it's like, he's done so much. So it's like,
why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't I say that? Because certain people don't even have that as a thought. But just in conversation, you could be so healing. Like, even it was a conversation I was having with my coworker. And I was like, she was like, how did you do that? And in my head, I wanted to be like, God did it. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I'm not going to take credit for this. Right. So I was like, I'm at work. I can't say that. And I was like, you know what? God did it. Like, it just is what it is. So you take that how you feel. Let that resonate in your spirit. But I got to tell you what it is. Yes. I can't take any credit for this, because I don't even know how it happens.
Sometimes
Thank
we
God
don't
he
know.
used me. You know what I'm saying? Thank God he used me. But I don't know how it happened. So yeah, I had to be honest in that moment. But certain times it's like, I'm thankful that I have my family, my friends who I can be like, I'm struggling, like I don't know how to do this, or like breathe a word in me to encourage me. So it's like you have to keep, again, that circle tight.
You have
of
to keep that
like-minded
circle
people.
tight of like-minded
And
people.
even people who are further in their faith journey than you are.
Those are very, very
inspiring.
Important. Very important to have those people, because they show you what faith has done and can do for you.
Girl, them testimonies be something else. It's like, because sometimes you don't see it. It's just like social media. You see this highlight reel. You just see how, oh, they went through that. But when you get the details of how they overcame those addictions or anything like that, it's like, my goodness. Like, anybody else, it would have broke them. But for whatever reason, God kept you in order for that to be a testimony to heal somebody. So.
Yeah. And he's still working on those who haven't accomplished, or who haven't, I don't want to say accomplished, but who haven't broken free of their addictions. Addiction is real, y'all.
It is.
And I don't think people give people who have addictions enough grace.
Yeah.
Because
or just compassion.
Or enough compassion.
Yeah.
It's hard to go through life if you are struggling mentally with stuff without a buffer. I'm going to be real honest with you. And And what I mean by a buffer, without any type of medication, without anything, it's hard to go through life if you're struggling mentally.
We all trying to cope, and unfortunately, certain things take hold, harder than others. But I mean, we all have something. But I think when you really start to listen to people, that's why, again, that part of me, that compassionate and just that empathy, like I try to put myself in other people's shoes. Yeah. And like, yes, I've been blessed in a lot of ways, but it's like, okay, let me see it from your perspective. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants to do right. Most people do. But they have things in their way.
Sometimes it's hard.
That's impeding them from doing that.
Every time I think about doing good, evil is right there.
Right there. He's waiting for you. He's waiting. But the crazy thing is that he knows exactly.
No, we're not licking toes.
He like me too, child. Help us. But the devil knows exactly where those weak moments are. So he can't do anything. Oh, Jonathan McReynolds said this. He can't do anything directly to us, but he will disrupt everything around us in order to get us to go back into those cycles, to get us to look into our past.
You just mentioned
keep going
something.
Forever.
You just mentioned something.
We can keep going.
I'm sorry. I know we probably need to land this plane, but you mentioned something when you said that he will fuck up everything. Because when I kept going back to that person, some situations I was like, certain things wasn't working out for me, and it was just you.
We just said the word, okay? We just said the word.
So y'all, we could keep going, but I do want to. This is one funny little video, and I want to end because this is kind of funny, but it's truthful, but it's kind of funny. Okay. Did you see Orlando Bloom on the side room shouting at the Dallas church?
No. He's a wild boy, so.
I love that.
I think he has some like intellectual things. Like he sees things that beyond, maybe because we're not celebrities, but because he's been in that realm, he can see so many things. Like Cat Williams, I think they have a certain awareness that I almost feel like somebody or something is trying to diminish or discredit them. Yeah. Because they speak so much truth. It's like he's insane in a lot of ways, but embedded in there, you be like, that made so much sense though. But keep going.
So I'm about to show you this video because it's funny, but it's like Orlando Bloom. And I was just stating that.
Orlando, we talking about the same person, right? The dude from Raven, right?
Yeah, he on Bad Boys. He on Bad Boys Club North.
Brown.
My bad.
But when you said Bloom, I was like,
the white man.
Right, but no,
I meant Brown.
Okay, I'm talking about the black man. Okay.
Brown. My bad, y'all.
No, you all good. I just wanted to make sure I was talking about the right person.
No, so. Oh yeah, put that video because. So you didn't see it. So I'm trying to find it, friend. I'm trying to find it so hard. I literally thought I just had. Though? Well, Bad Boys Club's being taped right now in Dallas.
Bad Boy. Oh, the movie?
No, the reality TV show. You know how they have the Bad Girls Club and now they got Bad Boys Club.
Didn't know that.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Girl, I've been listening. Go ahead. I've been so out of touch. Huh?
So
I just found out like 2 days ago.
Who else on there with them?
I just know him and who's the one from BT2K?
Raz B? They about to be exposing people. That's scary. Not in a bad way, because I feel like certain things do need to be uncovered.
For sure.
But
wowzers. But the reason why I say all of that is because we were talking about addiction. We know that Orlando Brown, struggles with that. And everybody needs to come to him. So here's a video of him. He went.
Everybody that has to deal with attitude, release the praise right there. For every trial, you see me through. For every blessing, hallelujah. For this I give you praise. I give you praise. Ooh, yeah. For every mountain, you brought me over.
the Potter's house, and he's shouting his life away because he knew he needed the Lord.
Can I play it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send it to you too, but
Yeah. So yeah, just add that because that's true. Like even you can't judge people just on how they act or how they portray because everybody still has a heart for God, no matter.
And he will use anybody,
No matter where
his word,
they come from. No matter where they come from, no matter how much they are struggling mentally, he still will use you.
He still will use you. That's awesome, though.
So,
But I think we're gonna have another podcast about just like people in the industry that's exposing the way that things are. And I think he's one of those people who is trying to bring a lot of truth and like awareness for certain things.
he can be in another one when we talk about addiction because that's a hole that people have.
Yeah, have them in a chokehold. It really does.
Child.
But yeah. But this was an amazing topic, and I'm glad that we got to speak about it because even it uncovered some things, like some deep things. Like I know about you, but the depths of it, like it was rewarding to hear it. So,
This my friend, y'all. But I mean, we still know each other. Yeah, we still learning each other. That's what you do in relationships. You still learning each other.
Yeah, we're so complex. Yeah,
exactly.
So, yeah, I love that.
So yeah, all right, y'all. It's time to land this plane. Let us know how you feel. Remember, your relationship, your walk with God is a walk. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yes, but thank y'all constantly for tuning in. We
love
for
sure.
y'all. All of the support, the encouraging words. It's amazing. So thank you. Giving that right back. The thank you. So
yes, thank you for all our followers. Thank you so much. But before we stop, again, Womanology Podcast, Womanology_podcast. That's our IG. Rhea_Dakota_EDS. That's mine.
Yay. And I am Chloe. Hey, y'all. But I'm yours truly, Chloe, on Instagram. You can follow me there. I am public again, so we'll see how long this lasts.
Girl, honey, baby, child. We gonna pray.
We may revisit that some other time.
I know, because I kind of want to go private, too.
But thank y'all.
I love y'all.